A very good evening. Welcome to another interesting edition of Big Talk, a program where we highlight political issues concerning Nigeria. My name is Ubong Usora in Abuja, welcoming you to the show. On the program tonight, we'll speak to you, a national youth leader of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Comrade Eze Onyebuchi Chukwu, who is also the chairman forum of national youth leaders of all political parties in Nigeria, and he was the AMAC candidate for APGA in the just concluded February 21st local council elections in the FCT. So we have joining us Comrade Eze Chukwu, who's joined us live in Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Comrade. So good to see you after the elections, and you're looking very refreshed.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right. So tonight on the show, we look at FCT elections as we do some reflections on what transpired, the election outcome and implication for us as a nation going forward. You participated in that election as a candidate for the All Progressive Grand Alliance in Abuja Municipal Area Council. How was it? I covered the election myself, but let's talk about it as somebody who had first-hand experience. And what is your first line of thoughts when you reflect on the activities of February 21st of February, the 21st of February, where we saw the results announced on the 22nd, which happened to be a Sunday?
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for taking me through this campaign without having any bad news, and also for safeguarding my followers. We did a strong grassroots campaign, went to places where it's not motorable, went to some very dangerous places in AMAC, and we didn't come out with any injury, any accident, or any loss of life. So, and that is with deep condolence to the young man who lost his life from ADC. So I am very grateful to God for that safety granted us in this journey. The election has come and gone, and honestly, I am not just glad, I'm happy because the stress is no longer there. Everyday movement.
It was very stressful.
Very stressful. It's not there any longer, but I came out with sober reflection. I came out with a heavy heart, not because I lost. Actually, I didn't lose. I usually tell anyone that call me and say, losing the election, I say I didn't lose the election. AMAC only lost opportunity to get it right. So it's AMAC that should be mourning, not me. People call me as if they've lost, as if I lost a life. And I said, no, I'm very strong. From the day of election, I was just going around and then was happy about everything. So, but I have a heavy heart because of what is happening in our political system. How are we going to get it right with what I saw on election day?
Right. So a lot of conversations about that. But I'd like to ask first, are you in support of the election as it was announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission? Are you in support of the results that were announced? From what was announced, we got to know that Christopher Mekalaku was returned elected as a chairman for a second term, and we've heard the candidates of the All Progressive or African Democratic Congress, that's the ADC, they've come out to say they are not in support of that announcement. Are you in support of that announcement?
Well, I had already congratulated the APC candidate. I didn't do that because the election was perfect. I did because election is about coming into leadership, right? And leadership is about service. Service is not actually by force. If you want to come and be a servant to someone and they said, no, you can't serve me, and you now force yourself, you must serve the person. Look at as if you have ulterior motive. So it's not as if the election was perfect, but there are also contributors from us, the masses. And that is what made me to say, congratulations, not because everything is okay, but it's not about me. It's all about AMAC, right? It's about the society. So if it's about the society and we contested and you won, whether you won by crook or by hook, however you won, there's no need coming to make too much trouble. But if it is obvious that you manipulated the process, I have right to go to court.
Right. So what are you telling us? Are you telling us by way of this interview, because your followers are watching and Nigerians are watching, that the ABGA candidate for Abuja Municipal Area Council election accepts the result as announced, and you will allow it to go that way?
We know the system of what importance, what will it add to me and my followers if I reject the result? You go to court, right? And then what happens? It's a waste of time and money. So all we can do is share our experiences, suggest a way forward if it can be taken. On the election day, I can tell you, I didn't see rigging. I saw vote buying.
Vote buying now,
yes, vote buying. When I mean vote buying, it wasn't hidden. Open vote buying. I saw voter apathy, and that is the one that pains. It's not even the vote buying. The voter apathy. We had over 1,500 voter registration in my polling unit, but only 11 of us that voted. Everywhere was like the AMAC was a ghost town on election day. I couldn't. My going around wasn't to check election. I wanted to know if it was only my polling unit. People didn't come out to vote. I began to ask myself, this is the most campaigned area council election in the history of Abuja. The ADC was there waving their flags everywhere. Their presidential candidate in the past election carrying him around here and there in the locals. SDP was there doing his own motorcade show. We were there moving in the grassroots everywhere. People were coming out in numbers, clapping. Where are these people? Why are they not coming out to vote? If you talk, they will tell you because they don't have hope again that the votes will count. How can a vote that is at home count? We need to, first of all, come out and do our part. Let it be the government have refused to do their part. So the heavy heart I have is, how do we fix our nation with this mindset of getting angry? You know, each time government do their thing, we get angry and then avoid the next one. How do we get it right? So the voter apathy contributed majorly to whatever that happened in this election.
Right. So you mentioned some things. I'd like us to do some interrogation into some of the issues that you've raised. One of those issues has been the issue of vote buying. I covered the elections too. I started my coverage from LEA at Lugbe, which happened to be the rack center for Lugbe and Kabusa, and from there I moved to Gariki, right, city center, and O2 polling units and some other polling units. Like you said, I guess there were some polling units that had a lot of persons come out. That, for instance, in city center, where the minister for special duties voted, we had quite a number of persons. But I also noticed that there were some polling units where the core members, who were ad hoc staffs, were like sleeping on duty, and I had to question that. So you raised that issue of voter apathy. I like that we interrogated more. What do you think are the root causes of this negligence to a civic responsibility? Because I saw young men playing football on election day.
Thank you. That's loss of trust. The people have been battered. They've been lied to. The injustice have been meted on the masses. They go out, stand in the sun, stay there from morning to night, and their vote will still not count. So this loss of trust. When we were campaigning, we kept telling people that we want to restore the hope of the people in politics. That after our leadership, people will have hope once more. Because I know personally that the masses have lost hope in the politics of their country. But that's not the way to build a nation. You can't lose hope. How many are the politicians? How many? They are not even up to 20% of the population. So if 80% will give up for 20% to do as they want, how do we fix the nation? So the voter apathy was unnecessary. It was just a show of anger. And those that came out, do you know that half of the people that came out actually came because they heard they were selling votes? not because they came to vote. If the election was free and fair, like no vote buying, you may have less than 10,000 people coming out to vote in the whole Mamak. So people were coming now because they are hearing that, I got 10,000 or I got 15,000. Somebody said he went home with 45,000. He collected money from different political parties. It's not only APC. It has become culture, a norm, that somebody will carry his PVC, say, go and vote. There's no like, say, they have not given me money. You understand? So it is the distrust. The people have lost hope in the system. People have lost trust in politicians. People don't believe that anything good can come out from it any longer. To them, it's better to stay at home than wasting their time going to look at the guy that died. Some of them will be like, oh, if he had stayed at home, will he die? Now that he died, did they still win? They will say no. You know, these are the things. Now the person that died, the system we have will not even care. They will leave that death now, loss of life, to the party that the person belonged to. Meanwhile, the party in power is supposed to reach out to the person that died, knowing that he came to participate, to exercise his civic duty. He came to make democracy work and lost his life. He actually lost his life performing national duty. And then he's supposed to be compensated. The family is supposed to be, giving scholarship and all of that, but it will not happen. This is Nigeria.
All right, so let's look at some of the processes that led to elections. You participated. How was the campaigns like? Because one of the things that we talk about was that it seemed we didn't really have interrogation of policies by the different candidates, meeting to interrogate each other, and that seems like something that is still lacking in our democracy.
You mean the campaign?
Yeah, during the
campaigns. Let me get you better.
Right. During the campaigns period, having more like debates, forums where the candidates interrogate each other's ideas and ideology. Did we have something like that? Well,
I think Global TV had something like that, and I commend them for that. The truth is that the media, with all due respect, the media are also not trying in building this nation. When it comes to election like this, the media should also create a platform where the candidates should come and sell their manifestos. But you see the big media houses charging you millions of naira, the masses taxing you here and there. So you must pay before you come and showcase what you want to do for the masses. What is the contribution of the media? Then after election, even if you want to come and say your experience, just as you invited, that's why I keep commending Global TV. Even if you want to come and say your experiences so that people can learn from it, the government can also listen to it and champion a way forward. They will still tell you must pay money. What is the work of the media? So the media would have, I was expecting debates, like they used to do with presidential election, but it's not, we are overlooking this area council election. Meanwhile, the government that is actually in direct contact with the people is the local government, the local government council, right? So we should pay more attention on the government of the grassroots. Because the president has no business with primary schools, has no business with all those primary health centers. It's local government work. So now, if we always overlook local government, how do we get it right? Can we possibly get the head right when the body is rotten? It's not possible. So the media did not do enough for me to at least publicize this candidate. Let the people even know who are the people contesting. What do they have for the people? So there wasn't that opportunity except for Global TV, of which I commend them.
All right. So the issues of interrogating people. Let's talk about the electoral umpire, INEC, as we have it, Independent National Electoral Commission, who constitutionally they are tasked with, the rights of announcing and midwiving these elections. And I know they had a series of engagements with different candidates and party stakeholders prior to the elections. Let me hear your assessment of the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Well, there are some glitches, and I can only give them kudos. There are some glitches, but like I said, I can't tell you there is any rigging anywhere. They should also try their best, which is totally beyond their control. You know, they recruit you to be an ad hoc staff. They can't also hold you not to collect bribe. You know, the corruption that we have in this country is not with the government alone. It spreads across. A foreigner once, a prime minister once came here and said we are fantastically corrupt. Actually, he's very, very correct.
David Cameron.
The corruption is from the grassroots, from top to bottom. So you see the corpers who are graduating and coming to look for job, collecting money. You see police using their hand to thumbprint, carrying their hand to thumbprint. You see all the people who are fielded to go and work, see it as an opportunity to make money, starting from the security to the corpers. You know me, I'm coming from civil society, I'm an activist, so one of the things working against me, I will tell you exactly what I saw. There's no need of diplomacy or a politician and all of that. The corruption in the system is not the work of INEC to actually control it. I've given you a job, I said go and do it. Why not stand? Somebody was the one that stood for OT in Abia, right? A woman said, I will not behave like others. And that has ground that she stood at that time brought in somebody that I believe is working very well for them, because I see the whole thing is doing on social media. When are we going to say no to stipends, stand with the truth, and bring up the best? This best, everyone will enjoy it. All the coppers that collect bribe in Abia are enjoying the dividends now. All the policemen that collect bribe are enjoying because of one woman. So when are we going to get it right? But even when the security people called us to interface with the candidates, I told them that one thing that I want you guys to know is that both the security, both the civilians, both the candidates, their followers, INEC, everybody will suffer the bad governance. So when you contribute to rigging election and bringing in who is not a popular candidate, who is not competent, you will suffer it. The money they give you will finish. That is what is happening. INEC did their best. They deployed their staff, deployed their materials. It is now beckoning on the citizens who are the ad hoc staff to do the right thing.
Right. So just prior to that election, we saw that discussion about e-transmission as to how results can be, transmitted from the polling booth when it's signed. What was the experience? Because the president signed it into law, and I saw, I think by 4 p.m. I went online. I saw some results. They were already being uploaded. Were you able to track results that were uploaded real time?
Well, that real time for me didn't happen. They uploaded, but by 7 o'clock we had less than 70% of the results uploaded. So that one is just on paper as usual. The real time didn't happen. And then there are places they didn't even upload, like in Greenwood. My councillor, the 4 polling units where my councillor has believes he has strength, it didn't even exist. The votes happened there, but probably because we won that place, they didn't even upload it. So it's not even among the numbers we got, and that is how it happened in Orozo. Some polling units were not even captured. It's not in that place right now if you check. So it didn't happen, and that is where INEC need to do better. If you say you want to do real time, do real time. Want to upload, why should why should votes stop and the results are not uploaded? Is it not each time you finish in polling unit you snap and upload, right? So why did you finish and then it's not uploaded? What is holding it? What is holding it is conclusion of whatever they are manipulating. So it didn't work.
Right. So in your assessment, you say INEC, you give them a pass mark.
Yes, I will. They did their best. They did their best. One of the things we are still suffering, including INEC and every other agency of Nigeria, is corruption. They did their best. They provided us with materials. They deployed their staff. There's no point where you will say INEC official did not show up. There's none. I didn't hear any. You can only say they came late. Maybe they came by past 8. So they did their best. Nobody will say you voted they didn't count, except the ones they didn't upload. But this gratification of officials, and they are collecting, you give them, they collect. It's the only way that we should, I don't know whether it is the work of EFCC. If INEC doesn't have that power, there should be a legal backup where INEC should have power to arrest even their own ad hoc staff for collecting money from politicians.
Right. So have you spoken to other candidates from other parties in that election? Away from maybe the chairman, have you spoken to them? What has been the assessment and what are the other candidates saying?
Yeah, I did. And it's one thing, they are not happy. They are not happy, that's just the thing. Majority of us, this is our first time, you know, the SDP guy, the ADC, I think this is their first time of contesting. Right. So they are not happy. This is my first time also, but knowing the system, I've been a long time an advocate of good governance. So I've known the system, how the system operates and all of that. While I was campaigning, of course, I was putting in my best to say, in case miracle wants to happen, let it not be that I didn't do my part. But of course, I also have my shock absorber reserved, knowing the system that I belong. So from the very moment I saw what was going on, I was just laughing, driving around and laughing. When they call, I will be the one even consoling my people. So they are not happy. They are not agreeing with the results, you know. But I keep telling them, well, the experience is much bigger than the results. However, you may have gone there to work. Me, if I have gone there, I won't be stealing. You understand? I may not even go there and be richer. I would have been working and working. So if I don't win, why should I be angry? I'm going there to work. I may have come out with white hair. You understand? So because I actually wanted to go and make a difference. So if I didn't win, I will wait and then support the person that won. I'll continue my advocacy. Anywhere they didn't get it right, I will tell them they are not getting it right. We went to villages in this same AMAC, where there's no water, no light, no school, no hospital. Where they drink from the same place where cows drink. And then on election day, that community, they call it Onape. Onape is in Orozo ward. On election day, my men who were going there, you know, the youth of that community blocked the road and said, nobody enters there except you want to vote for APC. Now tell me, are you going to blame government for that, for lack of road in that place, lack of hospital, lack of roads, lack of water, and lack of light? You are not. The people, the owners of the land say no. They prefer money that will give them on election day, they will vote. And then they don't need road. That is what happened that day. So there are places we need to call out the government to go and do their work.
Right. So let's talk about your situation report. How were you able to track your votes and the issue of agents? Did you have agents across all the polling booths? What was the system of tracking your votes?
Same corruption. We were in touch with our agents. There was no single polling unit we don't have agents. Now we're giving them the little money for transportation. Majority collected money from other political parties and even voted against us.
The agents of
I'm telling you the truth.
Agents of a political party teaming up with other political parties.
I am telling you the truth.
Quite very
shocking. Not just ABGA. Some other political parties that do not have the money to share, they will collect the money of other big parties and then even vote against you. Whatever happening there, they don't care. Some of them remove their tag and put in their pockets. Collected that money and put in their pocket. How much is the money? Some 20,000, some 30,000, some 50,000. That is why some people sold their parties. So we had a lot of some very funny, terrible things happen on that day. You see your agents, you know, when we put agents, we'll plug someone there to monitor what is happening. You see your agent telling you that, my brother, whether you vote or not, they will still win. Let's collect the one we have and then know the one we achieve. Agents were selling out, collecting money from the ruling party to work against their own party.
Quite very shocking revelation there. But let's talk about your party now. I still have other questions I'll ask about the election. But for now, what was the process like from your party before the election, the support that you've gotten or you got from ABGA? And what is the process like and the support like after the election from your party?
Well, my party was there for me. They may have not followed me here and there to campaign. You know, my party was there for me. I have a governor, of course. They were there for me morally, always inquiring to know how it's going, you know, putting in their own ideas, strategies, and all of that. Ordinarily, this is a local government election. It's not something that I will expect my national chairman to come and follow me. Even when he wanted to come and end the campaign with me, I told him there's no need. So forgetting that Mr. Peter Obi is carrying his own, is unnecessary. This is a local government election, for God's sake. So it's not, even if not because of...
the minister campaigned for the APC candidate.
Yes, he went there, I think, 2 days, just take him around. He will go and tell people that if you need more roads, vote for him. You know, just 2 or 3 days. It happened because Peter Obi was there, carrying his own person around. It was very unnecessary. This is a local government election. This is a presidential material. And then you just come and start. That is even what happened. That's why what happened. APC also mobilized, you know, for the election, knowing that, we thought it's a local government election. We didn't know it's this valued, you know. So this unnecessary attention was brought into it. And then there was this competition, you know, show of power. I must do it and all of that. Those are the things that happened. My party was strongly behind me. Yes.
Right. So the All Progressive Grand Alliance really supported. So after the election, how's the reaching out been from your party?
Well, we just taking stock, you know, and then checking out how did we fare, where did we get it wrong, how do we get it better next time. And of course, this is the first time APGA is actually getting to this extent. You know, APGA has not been that visible when it comes to FCT election. In Kuje, I think we were the second in Kuje. Gwagwalada, I think second or third. You know, here we got first in some polling units, second in some wards, like in Gui, Orozo, second in some wards, and then fifth in the
total round.
So we did very well. APGA fared well in this election, and that has been the discussion after the election. How do we maintain this momentum and all of that? So because it's the first time we are going this far, we had a lot of betrayers. You know, we had people who were not APGA in spirit.
There were moves within the party.
Yeah, so we had people who betrayed the party massively, including party officials. So it is just for us to take a stock and then know those who are really for the party and those that need to be kicked out for the party to move forward. It's usually a transactional process for APGA in FCT. People will get the ticket and then contest to an extent, collect money, settle, and all of that. This is the first time APGA people came out and say, I must win. Even with all the negotiations of come, step down, we'll do this.
People, you were called to come step down.
Yes, of course, twice. And with mouth-watering offers. Of course, the people who are in power, you know, you'll be called.
That's the APC.
Yes, of course, you'll be called. It's normal. Like if I was the one in power, I will approach people and say, let's work together. You know, let's work together. If it's appointment, I will give you. Me, I'm not calling it a button. You know, so there were moves and calls and meetings for that. But me looking at the people who are already investing in the project, what will I be telling people? See people in the local areas producing posters with their money, having meetings, doing road shows, you know. So you now go and collect money, collect position, and then you abandon them. I can't do that. So I told them, well, I can't do that because the project has gone beyond me. So let's move it to the end. If you get to the end and you win, I will congratulate you. If I am the one that win, please congratulate me. It's not by force to lead. And that's what happened. They won. And why should I go fighting? I congratulated them. So and I told my people, it is what it is.
Right. So let's look at the place of money in our politics, because we've talked about one thing, vote buying, and we saw that during the Anambra elections, and now we're here in the FCT election. Although personally, all of the hours I was on the field, I didn't see vote buying personally, but I've been hearing reports. I also spoke to a PDP councillorship chairman of the city center, and she talked about manipulation at the coalition center. All right, so let's talk about this, how expensive it is to even get the forms to run for chairmanship in some political parties, and how this is limiting people from participating in our democracy. We are seeing that, for instance, all over Abuja, we had 1.63 million people registered voters, but from the statistics we're having now, less than 40% of those persons actually came out to vote. How disturbing is it for our democracy?
The truth is that our electoral system has been heavily monetized, such that, like me now, you can't tell me to go and contest election now if I don't have complete money. And when I mean complete money, you calculate, all the things that you'll be paid for. Before you go and tell people that I want to come out I want to contest and come and deliver you people from this bad governance, you have to pay them.
You pay the people you are going to tell?
Yes. Just that I'm coming to tell you that I want to come and remove this man that is not giving you road, that is not giving you water. I want to come and give you road. You have to pay them. If you don't give them money, you're not serious. Look at this one. It's not serious. And then what the heavy hearts that I have is because of many things. Right. One is I begin to see why good people go into politics and turn bad. It's not the office that changed them. You understand?
It's the people.
The things they see, yes. You go and meet the people to tell them you give them money. They rejoice. They tell you you have gone. Our own Igbo brothers will tell you, Ijebe go. They will, all this is will be shouting, you'll be happy. On the election day, they won't come out.
Even after getting the money?
Yes.
So the people are also defrauding the politicians?
Thank you. They won't come out. And then those that come out in your presence, that collected something from you before, will in your presence collect money and vote against you.
Right.
So some of them, when they win, they see the masses as heartless. People who don't need mercy. It takes only someone. It's either the person has been an advocate of good governance or an activist or someone who is running an NGO to win in this system and decide to work even without remembering what he passed through during campaign and decides to work for the people. That means that person has been into charity before. Because to you at that point, it is charity you're doing. You virtually bought everything. The support of the people, they are coming to meeting, like you're calling meeting that you want to come and tell them you will pay transports. Their votes, the one that we are buying votes now, you will pay for the votes. So the system is monetized from bottom to top. Everything you want to do, you will pay. You want to go and see a king for a prayer, you will give him money. You want to go and see pastor for prayer, you give him money. You want to see a man for his blessings, you give him money. You want to go and see the church for, you pay, you give them money. If you don't give them transportation, you are not serious.
So do we still have people who fund, the local people funding the elections? Is that like, two sides of the coin, where we also have, yes, some persons are taking, to offer their support, but do we have people, did you encounter such persons at the grassroots who took upon themselves to fund the process from whatever they have?
Honestly, there are people who are as angry as I am, who have used their monies to conduct meetings for me, produce posters without asking me for any money. There are people who will tell me, oh God, we're not following because you have money. We are doing this because you have what we want. Your manifesto will liberate us. There are people like that. And sometimes they are even more in population, but they are not coming out. And then there are people who sponsor politicians not new politicians, the ones in power. You see people coming together and say we are buying form for so person. It's because the person is in power. It's still about what they will benefit. Let them come and buy it for me that is coming new. You understand? So there are patriots. There are patriots who are looking out for the most competent candidates, and they will invest their money in that person. I had them plenty in this my own campaign.
Right. So this issue of monetization of our politics, is it about poverty? Because we know the poverty index in Nigeria is quite very large, and some statistics says up to 30% of Nigeria's population is living in poverty. So is it about poverty that some of these people do not have the ability to, take care of basic needs? And so when they see this money, yes, the money may not offer a lot, but it means a lot to them.
I love the questions you're asking me, as if you're in my mind. It's not, I don't want to believe it's poverty. That is actually the argument out there. If you ask anybody, say, the politicians have made them poor, what do you want them to do? It's not. I am a criminologist, and in criminology, we don't believe that poverty is a cause of criminality. If poverty is the cause of crime or stealing, what about those who are poor who are not stealing? You understand? So what about the poor ones who have refused to also sell their votes? It's both ignorance, greed, ignorance, lack of orientation, and of course corruption. That same corruption we're accusing the leaders. I used to tell people that the leaders are product of the masses. They don't go to office and change. They only go to office and manifest who they are. And sometimes the masses make them to also change, even those who want to go there and work. And there are things that we are doing that I would tell the masses to also change. There are leaders who are ready to do things right. When leaders do right, let's learn to appreciate them. The more you appreciate people for doing right, the more they want to do more. Human beings like praise, like claps. But you see somebody will do good, they say forget, it's because he wants to do this. Is there find reason why the person did that right then? So that is another thing that is not good at discouraging our leaders. In criminology, we call it tagging. When you keep tagging somebody for what he is not, you begin to manifest that thing that you're tagging the person. So it's a big time problem in the country. It's not about poverty, my brother. If it is about poverty, everybody would have been selling votes. There are poor people who will rather die than sell their conscience. So it's about greed. It's about ignorance of what you're doing to yourself. It's about lack of orientation, about the meaning of or the extent at which you are killing yourself in the name of selling your votes.
Right. So there's also something that has been very striking in our elections, and that is security. A lot of persons talk about that they do not or they cannot, go out to vote because they're not assured of their security. But from my experience in that election, it was fairly very secured. You could move around. I didn't even notice any case there wasn't fighting where I was all through the time I was on the field. I like that you talk about that, how our elections getting more peaceful. Are we back from those days? Ballot box snatching, fighting at ballot pools and all of that. Are we getting better in terms of having a more secure environment for voting?
Yeah, I think we're getting better. The ballot box snatching, I think that was majorly eliminated by the Beavers.
Even the card readers also before the Beavers came.
Yes, so now, when it comes to insecurity, of course, it's a major factor to this voter apathy. But this is FCT. I used to tell people, do you know I campaigned all through without security? I campaigned without security. Sometimes I come back by 3 a.m. at night. I didn't go with security. One is that...
That's kudos to our security agents.
Yes, of course. The truth is that the kind of insecurity in Amak is all this local one chance and all of that. But the election was majorly secure. There was no case of you're coming back, people attack you, thuggery and all of that. It wasn't there. This is FCT. The truth is that you can't even commit crime in Amak and go free. How? The DSS, they are there. doing their work. We know the orientation they gave the candidates. So they even profiled us and warned us to make sure that none of our supporters cause problem because we won't go free. You know, that this election, they have mobilized security, JTF everywhere. So they may not be visible, but they were doing their work. So every network of insecurity was all intercepted. And then we moved freely. I didn't have any case of thugs coming to attack me or attack any candidate. While the ADP candidates once said that they were having campaign and then gunshots were, you know, the shotgun behind where they are. They didn't see the people. You know, that is her experience. But for me, as a person, I didn't witness any insecurity, any violence, any attack, or any intimidation from anybody. Because, of course, I respected myself. You know, I heard of clashes of political parties. I respected myself. I was just going around telling the masses what I intend doing for them. I don't have business with talking about the person who is in power, how is this or how is that, or going to tell people that Wike is a nobody, cannot do me. I don't have that business. I wasn't contesting with against him. So my own was to sell my manifesto to the people. And I was in a very good, friendly touch with all the candidates. Anyway, I see that I chat them, I call them for me to sit down and talk. Election is not supposed to be war. That is just the truth. It's you looking for a chance to come and fix the society. Me too, doing the same thing. Why should we be fighting? So I was peaceful in my election, busy telling the people about our manifesto and all of that.
Let's talk about your running mates. How supportive was your running mates?
Wow. A wonderful human being, my running mate. He's an indigene, the youth president of the Guanara people of FCT. He has become a brother. I have never seen somebody so detribalized like that guy. I've never seen somebody who has the large heart, the understanding. You understand? So the young man is being underrated by his own people. He stood his ground, even when it was very heavy on us to step down and collect money. I told him, said, you are my boss. Take the decision, I will follow. And I said no, he said no. And he was called a lot of names. People tell him you're a saboteur and supporting another tribe to come and take over our place.
I'm coming to that question. Right?
And the young man would say, our people have been here, they didn't do this. Somebody is telling us he will do it. Let's give him a chance. So he is all about who is coming to fix his people. He knows the pain they're going through. The dividends they are being denied. He took me to campaigns on the bushes. I just mentioned one community. There are more than 10 communities in this area that doesn't have light, water, school, and health center.
Right. So it's quite very surprising because when we talk about Amak, most of the times we look at the city centers and the fine streets and all of that. But let's talk about that conversation. A lot of persons have said that FCT primarily and Amak especially belongs to Gbagi people. I've had that conversation and people are saying, I look at the major candidates, apart from the APC candidates, people say, okay, it's Gbagi by tribe. People have talked about the ADC, said, oh, he's not from our place, the other parties, and even yourself, APGA, SDP. How was that message when you went for campaign and you hear people say, people are trying to take over our land, right? We had that narrative during the 2023 general elections too, and we keep seeing it in Nigeria, where aboriginals or people who are native to a place feel those who've stayed, and our constitution said if you have stayed in a place for 10 years, you can, you are a citizen of an indigene of the place. But it seems we do not practice that. But how did it go? Is the FCT more cosmopolitan and more accepting?
Yeah, that tribal belief that this is our land is still there, and that is what is even keeping the original inhabitants where they are today. They have refused to allow an external hand to at least handle them. This is our land, and sometimes I've asked my advice. You are there claiming indigence. See where you live. See your community. Now look at the community where the non-indigenous are living. Who is better indigene? He will laugh. You understand? You are an indigene, you are indigene. You are living in a place that is I can say my village is better than. So, and somebody say, I'll come and fix it for you. You say, no, it must be one of us. And you are not doing it. The people are suffering water, suffering light in the capital of Nigeria. You understand? AMAC is supposed to be a model of what a local government should be in Nigeria. So this indigenous politics is actually not, it is normal. If I was to come from Abuja, maybe I would be saying the same thing. This is our place. Government cannot displace us, and then another people will come and, especially when they will be telling you that they don't have commissioners, they don't have House of Assembly members, they only have reps, and then local government chairman, they should allow them to manage that one. Fine. What about the FCT minister? They should also ask them to be giving FCT minister. So imagine if Wike was indigent. Will Wike be doing this work? We have had indigents before now, so it's not about indigent. If the time we remove this tribe thing, it will help us. Our problem is not actually tribe, it's not religion. Our problem is purely leadership. If our problem was to be tribe, then since the tribal people have been leading AMAC, how come we still have a place that doesn't have water, doesn't have light? You know, so this tribe thing, it is they are the first inhabitants, right? I also heard that they come from somewhere, right? All of us came from somewhere, but they were the first inhabitants. So if they say it's their place, it's understandable. But if you love your place too much, what you should do is to bring in the best hand to fix that your place. That is what I feel they should do. This, it must be my brother, it must be my brother. What is the benefit of being your brother? Wike came here, took roads to some places that has never seen roads since the creation of FCT. Wike is not from here. Wike is not a Gbagi man. And Gbagi is just one tribe out of the 6 or 7 tribes that are holding claims of original inhabitants to FCT, right? So Gbagi is just that they are the ones in power. You understand? So I think we need to do away with this tribal thing and allow somebody who is competent. That doesn't mean that there's no competent person among the Gbagis or the Wandaras or where are other tribes. There are competent people, but if the person coming out from them is not competent enough, they should allow who can work to come and do the work for them. It is for their benefit. No, but for instance, if I had won, will I carry the work to my state? No. The roads I will construct will be here. I promise that if I come on board, I was going to give free medical care for pregnant women from the time of conception to the time of delivery. Now, if it had come on board, who were the people going to benefit it? I know that the majority of Igbo people will not even come to primary health centers to do that. But the majority of the people that will do that will still be their people. They will be the one going to the hospital to give birth free of charge. I promised free education. That free education would have been benefited by their people because they are the ones attending these schools. And if you go and see the nature of the schools in FCT, you will cry. You will know that tribe is not our problem. Students studying on the floor, the roofs dilapidated everywhere, just like that. You understand? So if we take away all this tribe thing and give people who are going to fix our schools, they will benefit it more. Imagine the scholarship we would have given. It is the sons of the owners of the land that would have given these scholarships. In the next 10 years, they will come back excellent people, being competent and all of that.
Right. So are you going to reach out, as we try to ask them the last set of questions and round up, are you going to reach out to the elected chairman now, Christopher Kalanku, and maybe strike a working relationship with him, or maybe just share some of your concept notes, your manifesto, and see how that works?
Well, I have congratulated him. I think that's what I'm owing him for now. You know, that is me telling you I am not angry with your emergence. So it is his duty to reach out and now say, my brother, I saw your manifesto, let's work together. Of course, I might not the one on the national television telling you this. So he can pick and work. It's all about the society, to fix the society. I don't even need to be in government or not to actually give out what I think I have for him to use it and fix his place. You understand? I may not contest again. I may be going my place. I may still contest again. But whatever be the case, now is about fixing AMAC. AMAC is where I live. It's where I do my business, where my children live. So anything that affects AMAC affects me. not the one that affects my place. That's what I want them to understand. So it is his duty to reach out to not just me, another candidates who he thinks have something to offer, to add to his. After all, we're talking about fixing his people. So it is his duty to reach out. I can't reach out to him.
Right. So we'll look at this, and we'll look at the 2027 general elections. What are some of the lessons that we can do to improve? As you look at this election, yes, we have one in Ekiti and Osun that will be precursor to the 2027 general election. As to people, what comes into your mind if you're advising maybe Nigeria, advising people as a takeaway?
Well, I will only advise Nigerians not to abandon this country because of politicians who are not up to 20%. And among that 20%, the bad eggs are not even up to 5%. You understand? It's just that the bad eggs are busy doing their work, the good ones are silent. So I will advise Nigerians not to abandon this country. Nobody will fix this country for us. Let's come out and do our part first. Don't just stay at home and conclude that your vote will not count. Come out and vote first. Do you know that rigging becomes difficult when people come out to vote en masse? That's what happened in 2023. Who would have agreed that Mighty Aduda, who is already being called landlord in Abuja, will not win election in 2023? It is because of the massive turnout of voters. So let's always come out and then vote. If we vote massively, they won't see the gap. You know, it is, you know, this rigging is like you are writing report in a police station. Anywhere you didn't feel, anyone that wants to add something can add something. So if you feel everywhere, there's no place to add something. So if you come out and vote completely, with which result are they going to rig with? So our people should not give up on this country, knowing that if we get leadership right, it will favor everyone. If we don't get it right, we'll continue to suffer. Come out and vote. Perform your own civic duty first. Let it be that the politicians are the ones scuttling our efforts.
So I've had situations where politicians after electioneering period, they go for a rest and I go for stuff. Are you taking a leave, or are you going to maybe just go to cool down and I go through the whole process?
There's nothing to rest from. You know, the journey to fix our country is continuing. We are done trying to take over the steering. So we come back and cheer the people who are piloting the vehicle. So what we will do is to continue applauding them where they need applauds and then knocking them where they need knocks. You know, we must learn to commend where it's they need to be commended, and then of course condemn what is condemnable.
Right. So if you have the opportunity, will you do this again?
Yes, if I have opportunity, I will. But I can't go without being prepared. I'll be prepared, more prepared before going.
And what is the preparation?
Money, fund. If it is the leadership skills, I have it. It's not something you learn. It is natural.
So more money?
Yes, just more money because of the system. We have monetized the system all the way from INEC to police to the masses. Right. Everything is money, so you have to be financially ready before you come again.
Thank you so much for coming on our program tonight. National Youth Leader of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Eze Chukwu, and he was the AMAC candidate of APGA in the just concluded 21st Saturday, February election. Thank you so much, and we wish you all of the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, people, that's the size of our program for tonight. Remember that Nigeria is our country and we must do our best to contribute to the development of this country. My name is Ubong Usoro in Abuja, and I'm saying bye for now.